We should probably do the intro.
Yeah, anyway, let's do our intro. We're going to do rock, paper, scissors in front of your face.
Yeah, we're going to figure out who's doing the intro. Oh, no, it's changed it to rock, paper, scissors. We want to keep variety.
Yeah, some variety. Also, we want to keep it fair. Nose Goes is a bullshit game.
I'm so fucking good at it. Nose Goes is a perfectly fair game because I'm better at it than Kendall. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, Kendall's doing the intro. Let's fucking go.
I'm doing the intro. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show where our combined IQ is lower than our subscriber count. Today, today we have a special guest for y'all. How do you pronounce it? Your actual like rap name, like just
Fitzy Mess.
Yeah. Okay.
Was it that hard of a name to pronounce?
No, I honestly just didn't. I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of like foreign rappers lately, and it looks like English, but it's then they say their names and it's totally not English. Anyway, we have Fitzy Mess in the studio with us.
Hell yeah!
I'm right here.
He's like physically in the studio.
He's actually here with us. Like we can high five if we want.
Wait, am I going the right way?
Yeah, no, high five us both. Yeah, hell yeah.
Good luck lining that up, Trent.
Yeah. Get fucked, Trent.
Fucking.
Trent is our editor.
It's funny. There was the other day some kid on TikTok. Well, I say kid, but I actually mean it. He was like, I don't know, maybe 16, and he made a TikTok video about something about. I guess his dad was in the military and put him onto my music, and he kept referring to me in the whole video as Fitzy Mess with no T.
That's why. Like, that's why I asked you. No.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm actually kind of happy you asked instead of just taking it.
Honestly, it's just kind of a courtesy. I don't know. Like some people are. They spell their names one way and they're like, it's not that.
I am so uncourteous on accident because I'm socially retarded. I ran into somebody that you ever run into someone that you know. And you're not friends with them, but like you're supposed to be like friendly. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
I am so fucking awkward when I run into those people when I'm not expecting to. And me and my girlfriend went out to eat, and I ran into this person that I knew from like a long time ago that like I didn't necessarily get along with, and she was like, "Oh, hey, it's good to see you." And I just was like, "Hi, nice to see you," and went back to what I was doing. And like her and her husband kept on like looking at us, and my girlfriend was like, "Babe, I don't mean this in a bad way, but you are so unfriendly." And I'm like, "I know, and it kills me. I don't want to be like this."
It's a little bit of autism.
I'm just so fucking awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my mother moved out of the neighborhood I grew up in when I was 17. So I lived in a different place for 1 year of high school before I left for the military and everything.
Oh, that sucks.
And whenever I came back, there was like a Stop and Shop in my neighborhood, which apparently was like, I don't know, the fucking social gathering out there. And I would like run into people. So it's way worse because I only went to high school with these people for 1 year. It's awkward enough going the whole 4 years, but I only went to high school with these people for a year, and they'd be like, "Oh, Fitzy, how you been?" And I'm like, I don't even remember your fucking name if I'm honest with you. And like it's become this thing where like every time I don't even live in that same state anymore, but like I flew in to visit and I went to that Stop and Shop to grab Italian bread for my grandma, and it's got to this thing where every time I park outside that Stop and Shop, I got to do breathing exercises because I'm so fucking worried about running into somebody that I spent my senior year of high school with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy how like people will remember you. I moved out of the city I'm in now at the end of my sophomore year of high school, and I didn't come back until I got out of the Marine Corps, and so it was like 8 years. And I came back and I was like just looking for like a part-time job while I was going to school. So I was like going to random places and be like, "Hey, are you hiring?" And I walked in, and this chick that I knew in high school, who because I didn't keep in touch with anyone when I left because again I'm very fucking awkward. Like this chick that I hadn't talked to in like 8 or 9 years saw me and she was like, "Oh, hey, Steve, I haven't seen you in a while." And I'm like, "What the fuck? How do you recognize me? I don't even look like the same person."
Yeah, dude. Unrecognizable.
Socially, there's nothing worse than somebody remembering you and you don't know who they are.
Yeah. Oh man, and it gets worse. Like you understand, like when you I don't know, kind of make a name for yourself, and then like people are like, "Hey man, remember me?" And you're like, "Dude, I meet so many people." and also people just kind of like they think they know you if they like listen to your music or something like that, and they're like, hey, I'm a big fan, and you have to like in your head like battle with this. Do I know this person, or am I actually meeting this person for the first time?
Like all the people that light you up about not doing a birthday message every year.
Yeah,
dude. Oh my god.
I mean, I am guilty of doing that. I have openly just gone in on his like comments and been like, hey Fitzy, if you don't do a birthday message, we're gonna overthrow the government. And I'm just doing it to stir shit up. But I know that there's some people who are serious.
Have you missed it?
I don't know if you remember what I replied to you. I said, "Oh, well, I guess I'm not putting one out then." I thought I was being like real edgy.
I mean, that was my plan from the get go. I was trying, I was trying to start the January 6th riots by having Fitzy not do a birthday message, and I failed. Someone else did it.
Have you?
Please don't come for me, FBI.
I only saw your Spotify. Have you done a 2021 and 2022? Or not 2022? Have you done a 2021 yet?
No, my God. All right, listen. I made an entire like long Facebook post on the Marine Corps birthday, like being a cuck and like apologizing that I didn't make one, even though I don't owe nobody one. For the record.
Yeah, no, dude. I was just curious.
No, I know. I'm not like upset with you. I'm just expressing my But no. I was gonna say like, what the fuck was I gonna say? I already forgot.
I'm sorry if it's a touchy subject.
No, that's all right. That's all right. No, I was gonna say like, I went into I do wildland firefighting now. So from like April to October, I don't have a free fucking minute to myself essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I do get like a little bit of time off, but I'm not spending it like, with my brain turned like locked on writing the best lyrics ever. And this particular season was actually I'm not looking for a pity party or nothing, but it was fucking really rough. It was a bad season.
Damn.
And I wasn't feeling very creative. I got laid off in mid-October, which gives me less than a month to come up with a fucking, and another like added pressure to this is that I gotta like find a way to do this every year without making the same fucking tired veteran jokes about crayons or whatever.
Yeah,
every fucking year. It's more difficult than it looks. I know I make it look easy because I'm incredible at it, but like,
yeah, you fucking kill it.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
Well, like I remember
that's understandable.
I remember when you like didn't post one. Like part of me was bummed because I look forward to them, but at the same time, more than anything, I was just annoyed with people's reaction because people are just being like shitty about it, and I'm like, dude, like. He doesn't have to. Yeah, like they're like entitled about it. Like, damn. Well,
I'll be honest with you guys. I kind of don't mind that because even though I'm not gonna lie, it gets a little, I guess like overwhelming. Hearing it every time I go on Facebook. Like, I just, but there's also a part of me that is like really it's good for my fucking ego. I'm like, these people really want me.
Yeah.
The ego boost is great. That's why I do stand up, even though I suck.
Yeah.
Because when you do good, you're like, man, I am shit hot.
Yeah, those 1 out of 15 times that people laugh and you're like, all right, I think I can do something. Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't think you suck, and I'll tell you why. Because I knew this was going to come up. Actually, I was like rehearsing my answer to this.
Hell yeah.
Let me tell you something. Seriously, you know how many people like so the first video I ever put out that went viral was in 2015, and it was a song that would come to be known as "Birthday Message" 15 months later.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting like, I'm not exaggerating, by the way, hundreds and hundreds of people I've never talked to before in my life were like, yo, I love this song, da, 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 da. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm like famous right now. It's crazy,
Yeah.
And then I started getting the like I rap or my buddy raps or whatever. And I was like, oh, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And, and I hate to say that, like, I kind of feel like a scumbag if any of them like come across this podcast, but
it's okay. I've said worse shit.
Obviously on my page, but, it was like 99% of the time it's very bad.
Yeah.
Very bad. And I'm not like a very confrontational person, so I'm not like gonna be like, hey, sorry man, this sucks, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I just
politely decline or just ignore.
Yeah, just ignore it. But I would think they would see like the little scene thing and
damn,
take a hint.
Fucking left me on red.
Yeah, but a lot of them don't. Like I would get sometimes I would ignore somebody in my messages and they would post on my wall like a song they made, and I'm like, now you're just asking for it, dude. Like
that's when you just leave the comments to roast them.
That is annoying. That
But the point I was gonna make though is that listen, when I first followed your stand-up page, if I thought you sucked, I would have. Oh, juice. Excuse me. I had 2 glasses of Jameson. I already can't talk. I was gonna say if it sucked, I wouldn't have fucking reposted it at all. I would have just ignored it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I appreciate that. Honestly, it's cool too because like I can like see the progression I've made. Where like I look at like sets that I did the last month versus sets I did 2 years ago, and it doesn't look like the same person on stage, and like that like feels good to see like the level of improvement.
Can you relate to that at all? About like seeing your stuff, old stuff, and then kind of being like,
being like, man, my new shit's way better.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up because I was actually thinking about talking about this on Facebook, but I didn't know how to like not rub people the wrong way about it. But when I first started I mean, I've been rapping my whole life since I was in like elementary school. But when I first started like rapping on the internet, I guess that sounds super lame to say out loud.
Yeah,
but
the internet's the way of the future.
It is.
No, it really is. Who needs a record deal when you could go viral on fucking TikTok?
Just go on our collective hive mind of that we call internet, and you know,
hell yeah,
exactly. But I remember I had a few songs, and I never put these like on my albums, and I never like released them anywhere. They're like still on my SoundCloud dormant. But I have songs where I talk about where I'm like, you know, talking about like mumble rap. That's so fucking lame, dude. Because I grew to like that shit way more. I love Lil Pump. In like 2018, he was my favorite rapper, probably, you know?
Yeah.
And over time, I've come to like, I do a lot less, other rappers are garbage and I'm actually good. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is cringe. It's very cringe to do that.
Yeah, it is. There's that whole thing of like, if you're good at something, you don't need to tell people you are because other people will tell them for you.
Right. Show, don't tell.
Yeah. I noticed like, I like all your music, but I noticed like, as you went on, like I think it got a lot better. Like I was talking to him about it, and I don't remember if it was birthday message 19 or 20, but like you had a line about like feeling like you peaked in your early 20s because you were in the military.
Oh yeah,
and that shit hit me in the feels. Like I remember like when I listened to it, it like simultaneously made me sad because I could like relate to it, but it also made me not sad because it felt good to know that I wasn't the only one that felt that way. You know what I mean?
I'm happy. That's the point of it, I guess. So I'm happy you felt that way.
Yeah, and so like I liked your older music a lot, but like with the exception of like a few songs like TRS, not a lot of them like had that same feeling of like, oh, I'm not alone in feeling like this.
Right.
They're fun though. I like.
Oh yeah, they're great songs.
Yeah, honestly, like the birthday songs are always just like, I don't know. It's fun. I think it's a cool thing. But I'm sorry. I was gonna say I'm a sucker for like concept albums too, and this is the 2 albums that you have on Spotify are kind of in that same vein. I know you're basically just like you're just rapping about what you know, but like it's pretty much a concept album because it's all like, you know.
I mean, it does when you listen to God, I feel like an asshole. I think it was the self-titled one. You had Born at a Bar and then Fitzy Mess, right?
Well, it was just Mess, but yeah.
Oh yeah, just Mess.
It's weird to have a second album that's self-titled. Actually, now that I think about it.
It's not super weird. It's weirder when bands have a self-titled album as like their like 9th album.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, but like Mess, like it felt a lot like how it feels to get out of the Marine Corps.
Yeah,
like that feeling of EASing and like looking back and like having those like fond memories, but also doing like hood rat shit. Like that basically summed up my first year out of the Marine Corps. And so like I do agree that it did kind of have the feel of a concept album in the sense that it did like capture a very specific feeling. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, it's actually funny. I didn't even want to say like second album. I fought it for years because Born in a Bar, like a lot of like not like people who aren't, I guess, really, really deeply into hip hop, they don't know the difference between like a mixtape and an album, right? And I'm not insulting your guys' intelligence. Yeah. I'm not assuming you didn't know.
I will fully admit I know jack shit about music. For me, like like Kanye West, I can recognize as an amazing artist because of like his ability to do like instrumental stuff with like production and everything.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, and I can recognize he's amazing, but I do not have the like musical intelligence to recognize how. Like to me, it's all just beeps and boops. It's like someone who knows nothing about boxing can watch Mike Tyson and be like, yeah, that guy's a really fucking good boxer. But if you're like, no,
I know what you mean.
Why? They're going to be like,
fantastic analogy. Holy shit. All right, go on. Sorry.
And so like, I know that there's like difference between mixtapes and albums. I just don't know what it is. But I also know there's difference between like lots of musical stuff, and I have no idea about any of it. It's just these are beeps and boops I like, and these are beeps that don't boop right.
Well, okay, so I'll finish the first thing and then I'll add to that because I have an opinion about that too. But and everyone needs to hear my opinion because it's important.
That's what this episode is about.
Yeah, this episode is all about you.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, thank you.
You may as well
about you, buddy.
Yeah. You may as well get all your opinions out.
I'm ticklish. Knock it off.
Yeah.
I'm here in the studio and you guys keep touching me. It's weird. So, anyways. No, I was gonna say. So, Born in a Bar, I wanted to call it mixtape because mixtapes are essentially like when a rapper has a bunch of tracks that you guys were talking about concept albums before. Yeah. When a rapper has a bunch of like songs that he can't fit into a concept album, he'll throw it on a fucking mixtape. And it was a lot bigger like in the early 2010s when like Gucci Mane and Lil Wayne were doing it and shit. But I wanted Born in a Bar to be mixtape, and I advertised it as a mixtape. And I said I threw together because these were 7 songs I legitimately threw together. These were 7 songs I had recorded. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I got to have something by fucking Marine Corps birthday. So here you go. Boom. I threw like 7 songs on this fucking disc. I originally made I didn't even know how to use a distributor to do Apple Music and all that shit. I threw it on a fucking CD and I was selling hard copies like in the mail.
Yo, that's punk rock as fuck, though.
That is punk.
What? Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
That's
but
not, I mean,
everybody on all my social media was like, oh, Fitzy's first album, Born in a Bar. And like I fought it for a little bit. I was like, "Listen, it's a mix. It's not an album. Don't call it. Please don't call us an album. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want this to be my album. This is something I legitimately, in every sense of the word, like slapped together.
Okay.
You know?
So Mess is like in your mind, like your first like
actual album.
Yeah, like studio album.
In my mind, but that's what I was gonna say is I just stopped fighting it. You know, I was like, fuck it, yeah, it's my first album. So
well,
I guess.
Dude, I mean, like Chance the Rapper was born on mixtapes. Like there would be no Chance without his mixtapes. And honestly, he still goes hard on that, you know.
And his old mixtapes are still fucking good. Like, I listen to that shit all the time.
Yeah, it's timeless.
Yeah, I love Chance the Rapper. Can we take a minute to talk about him? Also, give me 1 second. I need to check on my dog because he was freaking out a minute ago. Oh yeah, I was saying we should talk about Chance the Rapper.
Oh yeah, but he wanted to say something about.
I don't want to cut you off.
He's got a beeps and boops thing.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, keep the Chance the Rapper in mind because I definitely want to talk about that. But no, I was gonna say like you actually okay. So you ever see the meme where like the midwit meme where the dumb guy is right and then the person with the 100 IQ is wrong and the person with the 140 IQ is right? Also.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about music. I'm the dumb guy who's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so what you were saying about some beeps and boops sound good and some don't. Every time I have an argument with people about like which album is better, which song is better, and they try to make me write a fucking synopsis about it. They're like, well, the influence that this had on 2000s hit. I'm like, I don't know. Song make feel good. This song feel good. This song don't.
Yeah, bro.
You know, I got into a thing on Facebook one time because, and God forgive me for saying this, Eminem is my favorite rapper of all time. Lord forgive me, Jesus. Because everything he made after 2004 is fucking awful, and I'm totally comfortable admitting that, right?
Yeah, fuck you, Nick J.
Yeah, but the Marshmallows LP is my favorite album of all time. And I remember one time on Facebook, I listed my top 5, and it was like Ready to Die, Illmatic, Good Kid, Mad City, Marshmallows LP, you know? And I remember somebody was like, well, what did Marshmallows LP do in terms of like influence? Marshmallows LP didn't have the same thing that Illmatic did. Like,
it influenced me, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, listen, Illmatic, if I was like objective music, like if I was talking like objectively about music and
no.
Of course Illmatic beats Marshmallows LP any day.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about my top 5. The ones I like. So when I listen to this one, my brain makes the happy chemicals, and when I listen to this one, it makes slightly less happy chemicals.
Yeah, bro.
it doesn't need to be deeper than that, you know.
Some beeps boop better than other beeps boop.
Some bad beeps are good beeps.
Yeah, dude,
are good boops.
Some beeps boop bad, and sometimes I like beeps that boop bad.
Yeah, like there's this one rapper I listen to when I work out called Kill Eddie. And like, if you ask me,
those are bad boops.
He's objectively a shitty rapper. Like, his music's not good. He has this magical ability to mix his music in a way, and no matter how nice of a sound system you have, it sounds like your speaker's blown out.
Yeah,
like
it's got that tin can rattle like in every one of his songs,
and it has that like angry feel that you only get from being like a really pissed off 19-year-old. That's
so angsty.
It's so angsty. And so in the gym, it's my favorite thing to listen to because that's what I want to work out to. But like at the same time, like I'll show someone, I'll be like, yeah, I listen to this in the gym. And they're like, you think this is good? And I'm like, no.
That's the point.
Yeah, that was my thing with Lil Pump, you know?
Yeah, Lil Pump's not good, but he's fun to listen to.
I share that opinion, man. I like listening to Lil Pump, and just like there's a lot of mumble rap that I'm like, yo, this makes me feel good. I can give you a list of 100 reasons why it's bad, but it makes me feel good for some reason.
Yeah, it just it does the correct thing to my brain. That
yeah,
you know, that
gives us
he was going for it too. He like, you know, completed his objective as an artist.
Yeah, honestly, like that's art, man. That's all it is. Like you know it when you see it, right? You don't have to fucking show your math on why it works.
Right. On the topic of Chance the Rapper though, because those are some good beeps and boops.
Yeah,
I really liked. A lot of people shit on Coloring Book because it was different than everything else. But
it's starting to grow on me the more I listen to it.
So I love all of Chance the Rapper's music, but Coloring Book will always hold a special place in my heart because I just think it like when you consider what was going on for him at the time, it's a really cool album because like all his like mixtapes before that were about like doing acid and like partying with your friends. And then he had a kid, and all of a sudden he had he had an album about cleaning up his city and trying to be a good role model.
He changed his tone. He changed his tone completely.
Yeah,
right.
And like,
oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Like when you look at it, and across all communities in the U.S., like single parent households are like a steadily rising thing. So seeing someone that people look up to be like, hey, I like doing like acid and shit, but now that I have a kid, I want to like be a good dad.
Yeah, it's a good role model.
That's a fucking awesome thing.
That's exactly what so this actually feeds into what we're talking about perfectly because here's the thing. That's a beautiful direction for him to take his music, and it's a beautiful way for him to live his life, obviously. Like, if you have a child, that becomes your number one. Your own hopes and dreams are fucking done, dude, at the end of it.
Yeah, that's why I don't want kids.
You got a new focus, man.
Right, but him saying on a record, like, oh, I love my wife. Like,
yeah.
it didn't do the same thing as Lil Pump being like, yeah, I came in with the sauce. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Like that's so much more fun, you know. And God bless Chance. You know, I'm not saying nothing negative about him, but that's exactly the point we're trying to make.
Well, and that's also like different music has different I don't know jobs. Like some music I'm not gonna listen to at the gym, and some music I will always listen to at the gym. So it's like Lil Pump there's a time and a place. And Chance the Rapper, Coloring Book, there's a time and a place.
Well, also, like, on the topic of, like, a time and a place, because a lot of music is about, like, expressing emotions. You don't just feel one emotion. And so, like, and there's music that's for feeling good. And then, like, for example, Summer Friends by Chance the Rapper fucking makes me sad.
Yeah.
I love listening to that song, though, because it makes me sad. Like,
no wonder you like TRS.
Hell yeah. Dude, I fucking love sad
He's
music.
A sad boy, man.
Dude, I just found this like new rapper, which is weird because he has an album that has several pop punk songs on it, but he's called I Am Jake Hill, and it's nothing but...
I thought you were about to say Machine Gun Kelly. All right, sorry, guys.
No, Machine Gun Kelly gets a lot of hate, but he could get more.
He could get more.
He could.
You think he's due for more, or
probably,
is that what you're saying? Okay, yeah.
Probably deserving. I think Megan Fox is a vampire, but that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, she's kind of scary. You know,
she's gotten creepy.
I'm very out of I'm out of the male hive mind when it comes to hot celebrities because I don't agree with a lot of the.
Dude, me too.
I don't either.
But you just mentioned Megan Fox like it was nothing, and I had to remember what she even looked like, bro.
You guys remember Kate Upton? Everyone in like 2016 thought she was like the hottest chick ever. The whole time I was in the Marine Corps, I got roasted because I'm like, guys, she's not hot.
Oh, she was pretty average looking.
Yeah,
I
she
thought.
was average. She had hips that looked like mine, and dudes were like, "Dude, she has such a fat ass." I'm like, "No, she fucking doesn't." What are you talking about? She has big tits, and that's it.
Yeah, I was about to say. I think it was just because she has big boobs, and some guys are simpletons, man.
Yeah. Fucking, she had blonde hair and big tits, and every dude was like, "This is the hottest chick ever." I'm like, dude, this is like half the chicks in Texas. Chill the fuck out.
This is something I have such a tough time explaining to people. I'm so glad this is coming up because, look, there's okay. I don't know how to like put this in words. There's a certain level when a woman is like so traditionally hot that I don't find it attractive. I don't know. If
I agree.
Oh no, that makes sense.
The typical like old school idea of hot, like the blonde bombshell with the big fake tits,
with the red dress.
It becomes generic. Like
and it does nothing for me, bro.
Yeah.
It does nothing for me.
Like
you know what I mean? Like
a
girl who looks average, like if I get like, all right, maybe this is a bit too much for this fucking podcast, but like,
it's good.
Honestly, seeing a girl in like jeans and a t-shirt, I think is way hotter than like a blonde bombshell in a lingerie.
Yeah, because casual's hot, man. Casual's cool.
Well, not just that, but like a chick that has a completely flawless face doesn't look crazy hot because it doesn't look like fully real. It just looks like a computer generated person.
Yeah, maybe it's because
we're perfectly white straight teeth and everything. But like a chick that has like cute face and like, you know, like her nose isn't like the absolute perfect, that like adds character to it. She'll have like one crooked tooth and you're like, man, that's hot as fuck because there's like something unique about it.
Do you think though that we only have this opinion because our brains are just saturated with perfection from the internet for our entire lives? Like, do you think it's because we just want something different than perfect?
I don't think so. I think that there's like an actual part of your brain that like
I just can't think of a reason why anyone would I don't know.
I think there's a part of your brain that likes things that are unique. You know, like when there's something that everyone wants to have like the thing that's theirs, and like in terms of relationships, that makes it sound really toxic. But at the same time, like,
careful, man.
Yeah, like you don't
tread lightly on this subject.
Like if you're dating a chick who looks like 800 other chicks, it's not the same as if you're dating a chick that like you can see from a mile away and you're like, that's my girl. It's different.
I know exactly. You know, my last girlfriend, and I hope to God she doesn't see this because I don't want her to fucking ever know that I'm thinking about her.
It's fine. No one watches this podcast.
Yeah,
she'll never see it.
Well, they will after I share it.
Hell yeah.
But my last girlfriend was when I first moved out to Montana. We got together, and she's a Native American, but she's like very light skinned because she has Irish admixture and she has freckles, right?
Oh, cool.
Which I mean, I don't know a lot of men who would be like, "Oh, freckles are so hot," but
dude,
to me, it was
freckles
like such
are
a
super
unique,
cute.
It was such a
they
unique
can be
look.
ugly.
Yeah, I loved it. I wanted to,
as someone who grew up with freckles,
like, you're so fucking cute. You know what I mean?
Also, cute is better than hot because cute lasts longer. Like hot has an expiration date. This if you're hot, there's going to be a point where you're not hot anymore. But like someone who's cute in their 20s will still be cute in their 30s if they take care of themselves, and in their 40s and 50s and 60s they'll still be cute, maybe in a different way because like time takes its toll, but like that cuteness lasts through the years.
I don't know. I don't see any ugly people or any I don't see any
ugly people.
I don't see any old people that aren't completely like drop dead ugly.
Well, so it's also worth noting though, you're not that old yet, like because so when I was 18, I thought 28-year-old chicks looked old, and I thought 18-year-old chicks were hot as fuck. And now that I'm 29, I look at 18-year-old chicks and I'm like, that's a fucking child.
That is a child.
And I look at a chick who's like, 30. I'm like, yo, she's hot as fuck. Because now that I'm that age and I've grown, like I've grown, like the people that are the same age as me are attractive. So I'm assuming that someone who I think is cute when I'm 30, when we're both 40, because I will have grown, I'll probably still think they're cute.
That's a good point.
So
well, yeah, I was
marry a
gonna
cute
say
bitch.
well,
What's your take on this?
Yeah, what's your take? Do you think cute waifus are the way to go?
How did we get from talking about
Chance the
Rapper
to waifus?
to waifus?
Well, first of all, the destruction anime has done to the American public is irreversible and it
Dude.
should be banned.
Have you seen my posters?
Preach.
I'm fucking with you.
No, he's a fucking weeb.
Oh, dude, I accidentally became a weeb.
Well, hold on. How accidentally?
So,
he went to Japan once.
no, it wasn't even that.
So did I. I hated it.
Yeah.
They hated us. They didn't like us at
Yeah,
all.
no.
Yeah, I held out when I was in Japan, and then like I came back and I lived with two dudes who were just giant fucking weebs. And like growing up, there was one anime I watched. It was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And like I was like,
I
yeah,
used to come on Adult Swim, right?
yeah,
they played
that's
it on
where
Adult Swim.
Yeah.
That's where I
I do
found
Dude,
it.
remember
Toonami,
watching it.
bro, Toonami is the reason why I started watching anime from childhood.
Well, so that I watched that show and I got super into it because it's all about like philosophy and weird shit. And I was like, okay, not all. There's one good anime. The rest are all fucking gay. And then like I lived with these two dudes and they kept on being like, all right, most anime sucks, but like you'll like this one, and that's the fucking trap that they say to get you. So I finally
do it one at a time. Most anime sucks, but this new one, and then just one at a time until you're watching every single anime possible.
Uh,
Yeah, and so
It's the normie to anime weeb pipeline.
Yeah.
and so
dangerous.
It's a gateway drug. Fucking Brotherhood is a gateway drug.
Yeah, so I watched one to like get them to shut up. I was like, all right, that wasn't bad. And then one day, but I like still like talk shit about anime all the time. And then COVID happened and like everything shut down. I was like, all right, I'm going to figure out why these people are so fucking obsessed with anime. I'm just going to watch like 3 popular anime series and see if I can figure out why people are obsessed with this shit.
That was a mistake.
And now I can't watch anything else.
That was a mistake.
Well, you know, I'll tell you. So, as a kid, I liked Pokemon. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, that's an anime.
Technically,
It totally counts, man.
Yeah, it counts.
It counts.
This past fall, though, I was fucking obsessed with Squid Game.
Oh yeah,
That's an anime. I don't care if it's not animated. It's an anime. In spirit.
It's a
right?
live action
it is.
anime.
You know what? It is in spirit. Very
It
anime.
has a very anime story.
Yeah.
But I do think I figured out why people like anime so much. And it's not because anime
They're
is
autistic.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
that
autism.
too.
Yeah.
But it's not that anime is like super amazing. It's that American like storytelling sucks now. Because
because everyone's we just get rehashes of old things now.
well, not just that, but like everything we make, the goal is to like advertise it to the lowest common denominator. I don't mean that in like a way of like to stupid people, although the corporations do. They think they're thinking we're all stupid.
Stupid people give money.
Yeah.
Stupid people pay.
But like
That's a fucking good take.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But like they don't want to take a hard stance on anything because their goal is to appeal to as many people as possible, and so the end result is it's good guy fight bad guy lose because bad. But you look at like anime and like just off the top of my head, just some like fucking like weird ones. There's Demon Slayer has like a whole like undertone about it's almost like an ethical argument for the death penalty.
Yeah.
Like usually when you look at arguments for or against the death penalty, the argument against the death penalty is these are people and they suffered and that's what led them to this situation. And the argument for it is they're also fucking murderers, so we should get rid of them. And that whole show is about how like, yeah, the demons were once people and they suffered and there's something bad that led them to this and we should be empathetic for them, but also let's cut their fucking heads off.
Yeah.
I
think. Oh, sorry.
That's like a hardline stance. Or like you have like Evangelion is a whole thing about like the psychology of suffering. And like all these shows, they were made by people that like wanted to like make a point that like a lot of American companies won't approve of somebody trying to do the same thing here because they're like, oh, well, what if people are against the point and then they'll like boycott the show.
Yeah.
So we're not allowed to make any points about anything. Everything just has to be generic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
that's a pretty good point.
I guess even as you know, even when I was a kid, I couldn't even. All the kids in my school loved Dragon Ball, and I couldn't even get into that.
Dude,
and I think for me, like,
love Dragon Ball.
I liked
No,
Dragon.
there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not insulting it. What I'm saying is, for me, I think I have such a simpleton brain that like the animation style has such an impact on whether or not I like it, and the whole anime like style of how it's. I don't know if I should say drawn, but
well, yeah, no. So, well,
it never appealed to me.
Each iteration, and like you can think of it as like, well, it's different series, different iterations of Dragon Ball through the decades has gotten better animation, but that's just anime in general. Like if you watch like Akira, you know, it's a great story and stuff like that, but sometimes the animation's a little bit cringy, even though it's like attributed as being one of the best animated things of all time.
It's interesting you say it though, because I feel like a simpleton sometimes because I can't watch anything that's not animated now. And the reason why is because like
you're a simpleton.
The reason why is because like when I watch something that's got like real people in it, I'm able to like spot the parts of like the set that are like an obvious set. And it like takes me out of it because I'm like, that's not real. That's not real. That's not real. But when nothing on the screen is real, I can't do that.
Yeah, that's a
so
good point.
I can only watch things that don't have real people on them. Otherwise, I just sit there watching it as like this is just people acting. It's not like
it's easier to immerse yourself in the universe of the story.
Yeah, exactly. But then it makes me feel like a child because I'm like, I can't watch this movie because it's got fucking David Spade.
Yeah, and I know him from that other thing.
Yeah,
I think we reached our anime quota for the episode. So let's move on. We can stay on a topic of shows and stuff. What are you watching as of late? Shows or maybe movies? What's on your Netflix history?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get into shows. It's weird. Like it's very rare. That's why Squid
fucking
Game
loser.
Like, stuck with me so hard. It was one of the very few shows that I actually like binge watched start to finish. You know,
Which
most
one?
shows
Squid Game.
Somebody will be like,
Game?
"Oh, you got to watch the show. It's so good." And I'll get like 20 minutes into the first episode and be like, "I don't fucking give a shit what happens to this guy." You know, like. And
you're like a real person with like things to do and you know, not time to waste.
No, the complete opposite because I work April to October. I have a seasonal job. I'm laid off from October to April.
Oh.
I don't have nothing to do. I get federal unemployment. I have nothing to do for 6 months, and I still can't get into shows. I think I have this thing. I've talked, my friend Vinny Petrone, he's like very into shows. I know that's like a weird way to describe somebody, but he's very into shows.
That's a personality trait right there.
Yeah, I guess it is. But he'll try to like get me to watch these shows. But I think I have an issue with like empathizing with people that I know are fake, and I just don't care what happens to them for the most part.
That's kind of like what he was saying.
Yeah. So what do you do to fill your free time? I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Do you do that, or you're more like into?
Dude, I'm addicted to YouTube
games.
I'm addicted.
Yeah, I'm actually way more into YouTube videos because I don't have to pay attention to them for 5 seasons to get the fucking gist of it.
Yeah. Do you watch like? Dude, what do you watch on YouTube? Do you watch like real stuff, or do you like video game stuff, or?
But dude, I'm a fucking dork and a half. So listen, I have to preface this by saying in my off time, I train at an MMA gym or I do like MMA conditioning workouts. So I could
nice.
I have to say that to show that I'm like a tough guy before I tell you that I'm really into watching video game lore videos.
Lore? Dude, which video games? What's your
Solid, GTA. I'm a pretty casual gamer. I'm not like into Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy.
Dude,
but
that's
GTA,
totally okay.
The Metal Gear Solid lore goes deep.
Yeah.
Dude, it's ridiculous. The most, if you want a detailed explanation of the Metal Gear timeline, it's going to take you 4 to 5 hours.
I got super into the Dark Souls lore, which is great because they don't tell you any of it anywhere in the game. You just have to figure it out yourself like a fucking puzzle piece. And so everything you get explained is literally just someone guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how Metal Gear. It's nobody's holding your hand.
Yeah.
Kojima doesn't give a fuck. He's doing his vision and he doesn't care.
I love like when I was younger, I remember I hated Kojima specifically because of a certain boss on Metal Gear Solid 3.
Which one? The end?
No, the end was not like super hard because I got mad and quit for like 2 weeks and then he died.
Well, if you only set your PS2 clock, you would have been fine.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I just quit playing for 2 weeks.
You're a hacker.
Do you guys not know about that? Can I say something real quick? I'm sorry. Please hold that thought. But can I tell you something real quick?
Yeah.
All right. So in the end boss fight, if you set your PS2's internal clock ahead 2 weeks, the end will die of old age.
Yeah, it's such a cool thing that they do.
That's fucking dope.
He's the best fourth wall breaker in not video game media history.
Yeah.
Any entertainment media. Anyways, I'm sorry, Steve. Please.
That's dope.
Oh no, you're good. 'Cause, that actually was like one of the coolest things of that game, and I love that game because it has stuff like that. But there's the one where I forget the guy's name, but he's like the ghost dude. You have to walk down the river of everyone you killed. And because I was like 15 when I played the game, that was almost every person in the fucking game. And then I would get to the end and I would just drop dead with no explanation as to what to do. And then it would make me reload it. And like I like quit playing the game for like 3 months, and then I Googled it, and it turns out you're supposed to press a button they don't tell you about, and you just come back to life, and that's it.
No, that's not quite true. There's a revival fucking thing in your tooth that you have to take.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was very well thought out. Don't ever insult Kojima in my presence again.
Dude, that's dope. I love video games that basically is like you mentioned, breaking the fourth wall. Like it uses more than what it has, essentially.
I like what he did with Death Stranding. I haven't played Death Stranding yet because I don't have enough free time, but I like the fact
it's on my wish list on Steam.
I love the fact that the main gameplay loop isn't shoot dudes, it's be a postman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta be honest, I haven't played it either. I saw a bunch of, I'm in a lot of like Metal Gear fucking I'm a dork pages on Facebook.
Hell yeah.
And a lot of them are like, there was like fan theories that it was going to take place either A, in the same universe as Metal Gear, or B, be like some kind of very artsy continuation of Metal Gear. And I was like, I can't wait to get this fucking game because Kojima's such a genius. He's going to continue Metal. And then as soon as I saw reviews that it wasn't, I was like, I don't give a fuck. I know it's like retarded, but I don't give a fuck.
Hey man, you pick you pick what you like, and then you fucking stick with it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm very stubborn.
I am too. I like got super into the Dark Souls games the same way like a lot of people get into like the Metal Gear games. Like I'm in a shit ton of Dark Souls shit posting groups. And like that became like my game to like unwind with when I would like want to turn my brain off because I just played it too many times. And then I got Elden Ring, and that game has just been fucking stomping my penis in.
Yeah, I heard it's like that, and the one that came before. I'm a casual gamer, admittedly. I never got into the series, but it's like it's got like 1990s difficulty of video game.
Yeah. The one before it's Sekiro. That one is actually the only one other than Elden Ring that I haven't beat, and that was the only one I got stuck on. I'm not stuck on Elden Ring. I just am busy.
Elden Ring has some beautiful artwork too. I've been looking at screenshots and stuff and like community forum hubs on Steam, and man, that game it looks like a painting sometimes. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, they do an amazing job with like world building. They also they're great at making like really beautiful like views, and then making creatures that just make you be like gross.
Yeah, it's so grotesque, like the artwork.
There's a small part of me that, like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate good visuals in a video game. I appreciate a very, like, aesthetically pleasing video game. But there's a small part of me that feels like the graphical enhancements that have come about in the past decade or so have kind of been a detriment to the quality of the video game itself.
Oh, dude, I agree. I play Minecraft.
I agree.
I play Minecraft.
Yeah, I was gonna say like San Andreas is my favorite GTA, and if you want to look at the fucking graphics of the game, it's garbage. But like, there's games where there's so like aesthetically pleasing. I just got a text. I got to put my do not disturb. Sorry, guys.
You're good.
It's all right.
Completely forgot I was on my phone for a second.
Too engaging in the conversation.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, I was gonna say there's games now that they'll give you like a fucking 4-hour like generic half-ass campaign, but like. Oh, look, there's ray tracing effects, so like you gotta like the fucking game. You know what I mean? It's kind of an insult, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a strong word, but I think it's
no, dude. Stories are important, man. Storylines are important.
And basically, a lot of like AAA games have just become like open world survival crafting. Walk around to the next radio tower.
Well, they go where the money goes, man.
Yeah. But like
GTA Online.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Like graphics, I think they do like lead to like a worse product the way that they do them now, because they put so much resources in like, oh, let's make this rock look pretty, as opposed to let's make something fun.
That's true. But also, there's some games that like you don't need a story. Like the whole point of the game is just to be fun. Like they're coming out, but also so they're coming out tomorrow. As of when we're recording this, the brand new Lego Star Wars game is coming out. And
those do slap.
They slap, dude. Fuck a story, like, because you already know the story. It's Star Wars, right? It doesn't matter what the story is. You just.
I actually was listening to the podcast the other day when you guys were talking about Star Wars and Star Trek, and I've never seen anything with Star in the title. I don't know anything about. You know, let me defend myself because I can see you guys smirking already.
Oh no, I think that's a pretty Giga Chad stance.
Yeah,
at this age, if you haven't seen Star Wars, just commit to not watching it. Just because, like, as someone who likes Star Wars, I am telling you right now, the reaction you get from telling people I've never seen Star Wars will be so much better than the feeling you'll get watching it.
I envy you, man. I envy you.
I'm so riled up. You said.
I wish I knew nothing about Star Wars.
Yeah, every time I tell, dude, one of my least favorite things ever. Things, period. Not like a specific, category. My least favorite things ever is when I tell somebody I haven't seen XYZ movie or show, and they go, "Bro, you haven't seen? You have to see." I fucking hate. It drives me up the fucking wall. And
it just makes you not want to partake even more.
Yeah, Star Wars is the main offender, though.
Yep. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And the way I try to explain to people is this: I say I already know I know Leia's his sister. I know Darth Vader's his dad. I know the fucking twists already. It's pop culture ruined it for me. I can never enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's done.
Yeah,
that's how I felt about The Sixth Sense. I've never watched it because there's no point. I know the twist.
He sees dead people.
Yeah. But it's funny you bring that up because it is super annoying when people do that. But there's some movies where people are going to do that, and you can use that to annoy your friends. Like you could just be like, "Hey, everyone, Vinny Patrone has never seen Pulp Fiction."
Vinny Patrone has seen every movie known to man, but
except Pulp Fiction. Yeah. He's never seen Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Damn. Fuck that guy.
Vinny Patrone's gonna get a kick out of that you mentioned him.
Hell yeah. Fucking.
Let me tell you. Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah.
I don't mean to get off topic. I went to.
There's no topic.
There's no topic here. We're just rolling with it.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's why I like the very serious podcast. So there was a friend of mine. Well, now he's a friend of mine, but at the time I met him at a show at Bastards, and he was just kind of like a random guy on Facebook that was like, "Oh, I love your music." Da 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 da. And I was like, "Yeah, you're the man." And we ended up talking for like 2 or 3 hours that night at Bastards. And it turns out at the time I still lived in New York and he was from Queens. So I was like, "Oh, dude, next time I'm in New York, we should like hang out, whatever." And we ended up hanging out and having a good time. We're at this bar in a town in Nassau County in New York called Island Park. And he brought up Vinny Patrone. He like loved those skits on the second album.
Those skits were hilarious.
Oh, thank you. By the way, true story. Vinny said that to my recruiter about being double fells, 380.
Really?
I swear to God. I told him, like, dude, don't fuck around on this phone call because Vinny takes nothing seriously.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I told him, like, don't fuck around these phone calls, dude. Like, this is serious. I want to be a Marine. And at the time, I didn't know that recruiters were like desperate and needed me anyways.
Yeah.
So I thought I was actually in danger of not being in the Marines if Vinny said something stupid.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. So I'm at this fucking bar with this kid, John. I fucking said his name. I didn't mean to say his name. Anyways.
John Doe.
Yeah, you'll
John
never.
Doe.
Yeah, John. You're going to find John.
Yeah.
But he's like, starts bringing up Vinny and he starts bringing up the skits and everything. And I'm like, yeah, Vinny lives like right here across the bridge in Long Beach. And he's like, wait, what? Are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, he lives a couple blocks away, dude. And he's like, dude, can I meet Vinny Patrone?
Dude.
I was like, yeah, I guess so. And I call Vinny. I go, dude, can you stop by the Yale House for a minute? Like, I got a friend of mine who like loves your skits and shit. He also had a feature on a song too. And I'm like, yeah, he loves your skits and da 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 da. And the funniest thing is, I wasn't even there for it. But Vinny tells me he's like, dude, as soon as I hung up the phone, I turned to my wife and I said, I gotta go meet a fan.
That's hilarious. That's funny.
That reminded me of two things I wanted to talk about though. One was the skits, because those skits are so fucking funny. Like the one of him or the recruiter calling him. I remember like a lot of times I know civilians don't really get a lot of military jokes. But like I would show that to like my civilian friends and they would all consistently think it was funny. Like I would come into work and dudes would just be like, "Double fells, bro."
Yeah.
I can't wait to show Baylie this shit. God.
And then the other thing was that song that he was a feature on. That was the one where you had like 4 or 5 dudes as features, right?
Yeah, it was like for Kurt Hennig. I had 4 features, and it was like, all guys in the last town I lived in New York before I moved, and they're all phenomenal rappers. And sometimes it bums me out that my shit took off only because I have this weird niche audience of Marines.
Yeah,
because they're so good. Also, you know what I mean.
I wish I had actually thought of this beforehand and done my research. There was one of them that like he had probably like the shortest verse in the song, but in my opinion, it was like the coolest one. And I tried looking him up. I remember when I first found it, and I couldn't find any of his fucking music.
Which one was it? Do you remember any of the words?
Give me 1 second, and I might be able to figure it out.
Is Trent gonna cut this out because I have to pee?
Yeah, he can cut.
We can cut it for a second. I can.
I have like a ritual where I wake up and drink like 3 shakers worth of water, so I piss consistently all day.
I do that before I go to bed. Kurt Hennig.
Oh, was it? There's D-Mag and Jay Swiggy.
Damage.
Damage. I'm sorry.
I think,
dude, this is why I asked you how you pronounce your name, because I'm a fucking idiot.
It was Jay Swiggy.
Okay.
Jay Swiggy, is a very good friend of mine. His real name's James Ferrante.
Okay.
Doxed.
And, he has a whole like SoundCloud page. Actually, him and his sorry, the fucking Jameson's killing me. Him and both of his brothers rap too, and they're all fucking phenomenal. It was funny, before I got out of the military, like Vinny Patron called me and he's like, dude, I can't wait for you to meet my friends out here. They're all good rappers too. Like, you guys are gonna get along so well. And I was like, yeah, all right. Everyone that says like, oh, my friend can rap, they're, I don't even tell people I rap in person because I've never met a person who told me, oh, I rap, check out my shit. And
dude,
I thought they were.
It's the same in comedy, bro. Yeah. If you tell someone you're a comedian, they're like, yo, I have a joke.
We have to rewind this like 30 seconds because now he's not peeing. All right. So it's Jay Swiggy.
So we're thinking about,
honestly, we should just keep the segment of him peeing. And
honestly, if you're okay with the pee,
hell yeah. It's not like I showed my tiny dick on the camera.
Yeah. Trent, keep the pee. Keep the pee.
But yeah, no, that is something we experience with comedy where like
people are like, oh, dude, listen to this joke, and then they talk for like 15 minutes something that's just not funny.
Hey, bro, I have a joke you should totally do on stage. You'll love it, and I'm just like, I probably won't.
Well, and also like,
but you don't want to be mean.
Yeah, no, you want. But also, I always tell people when they say like, "Oh, you should do this joke," I'm like, but if you like that joke, you should do it. Like, I don't think I would be able to, do it.
One thing I hate is bro-vets giving me advice on stand-up.
Oh yeah.
Out of all the people that give advice on stand-up, bro-vets are the worst.
Yeah, there's a few that come to the bar, man.
I hate to say this, man, because I don't want to like alienate my audience. But like, dude, honestly, I'm not kidding around. The reason I've had such I've been in such a struggle to like think of new music is because I'm trying so hard not to be the guy who makes the same fucking military jokes every year.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Sometimes like my comment sections are filled with that exact humor that, you know what I mean? That exact type of humor where it's like, oh, like, the crayon fucking thing.
Yeah.
Got sick of that after a week.
Yeah, that one gets so old.
And you can't say it. You can't be like, oh, I'm sick of the crayon jokes, because it makes you look like you're offended by it.
Yeah, because anyone who says that joke, it's new to them, and so you got to be like, oh, it's my favorite color is red, or something like that.
Yeah, I always say my favorite color is black. I'm not racist.
Yeah, that's good.
But at the same time, like, especially like going from like the Marine Corps where everyone roasted the shit out of each other. Like, I went from people being like, you're autistic because your mother drank when you were in the womb, to people being like, oh, what's your favorite crayon? I'm like, guys, these are boring.
Yeah, get more creative.
So
it's like, oh, do you like eating crayons? It's like, yes, I've eaten several. I'm not even joking either.
Don't ask me how many crayons I've eaten. Ask me how many dicks I've eaten.
Yeah, like,
but there's also the faux masculinity shit about like, I like bacon and whiskey and like, sick, dude. Like, doing things consuming things you enjoy is not like tough. It's not masculine to like.
That's just being human.
Working at a bar, I fucking hate dudes that are like, oh, if you don't drink straight liquor, you're a pussy. I know someone who drinks straight gin from the bottle, like chugs it. She's a 95-pound vegan. There's nothing manly about her.
Didn't you just give Trent shit earlier for wanting a lemon drop?
For wanting a sugar-rimmed cocktail. Not the same thing as fucking... I'm not saying he should drink an old-fashioned.
I think you called him a pussy for wanting a lemon drop.
Oh, Trent, you're a pussy for ordering a lemon drop.
I gotta say, as a person who is drinking straight liquor as we speak, I think that's the most like the stupidest fucking take on masculinity in the world. Because when I go out to a bar and like the goal is to get intoxicated,
yeah,
I'm gonna drink things that are easy to drink. I'm drinking this because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be on a podcast. I have to be like coherent for a conversation for an hour or two.
You need to pace yourself,
and I know I'll drink this slowly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing it. You know,
that's a good
when
point.
I go out to a bar and the goal is to get fucked up, I'm like, oh, let me get a fucking vodka cranberry. Like I gotta fucking
put all the juice in it so I don't even taste it. Yeah. I don't want to taste the alcohol.
Fucking it's just like a weird take that people have. Because like also people who are like, oh man, I like to drink. I mean, no shots at Dustin, but people who are like, oh, I only do shots of green chartreuse. Like, bro, green chartreuse sucks.
I've never heard of that. I have no idea what that is.
Is it a liqueur technically?
I don't know. I don't think so because it's like 110 proof, but it's like a really strong liquor it's like this, like it basically like gin's abusive uncle.
Yeah.
It's like super herbal to the point that when you drink it straight, it tastes like you took Italian pork and you soaked it in a bowl of water filled with like old people potpourri, like out in the sun for like a day, and then you just like dump the water into a shot glass. It tastes like that.
It's green.
Yeah, and it's green.
Like a match shot.
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah, and like it's made by these like monks in like France or something. But like
they probably pee in it or something.
Yeah, a lot of dudes will be like, "Oh, I only drink green chartreuse because I'm hard as fuck." I think Dustin only drinks green chartreuse because he worships Hunter S. Thompson. So I mean, no insults at my new dad, but
I think it's just people just want to be special, you know.
Yeah.
They want to be unique, and they think that that's unique.
I hate people who want to be unique and pick the generic options, like the ones who are like, "Oh, I only drink Jack Daniels." Yeah, they pick like some of the worst options and stuff. It's like, okay, if you really want to drink straight whiskey, like, bro, go a couple shelves higher. What is your least favorite, like, bro drink?
What's the one where you drop the fucking shot in the glass?
Jaeger
bombs.
What is that?
Jaeger bombs?
Jaeger?
Yeah. Okay, so I have a really good friend of mine who's going to be very insulted that I told you this, but when I first moved to Long Island when I was 17, I met this kid who like lived 2 doors down from me. I actually ended up talking him into joining the Marines. It ruined his fucking life.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I know. Listen, at the time, come on, I was a pulley.
What an asshole.
I know.
Oh my God, I have a story when you finish.
Yeah. But anyways, he's it's funny because he's not aware of it because I guess a lot of people aren't aware of the stereotypes they live up to.
Yeah.
But he's a very like Long Island, like we go out to the bar, he's like, let's do fucking Jaeger bombs, like
God.
He's like super jacked and swole, and he's like, yeah, we'll go get a new haircut and go to the fucking bar. You know what I mean?
Does he wear
like,
boat shoes?
Does he wear a fishnet tank top?
No, he's not that bad, but he loves Jaeger bomb, and I fucking just the taste of Jaeger. I feel like I'm drinking like fucking syrup with alcohol in it. You know,
it's gross.
It's licorice,
man.
Yeah,
it's disgusting, right? And then every time I go to the bar with him, he's like, he doesn't ask nobody. He just fucking buys 4 Jaeger bombs for the group. You know.
I don't mind it. I
had a buddy in the Marine Corps that would do that with Well tequila, but we would go to like bars that had like the cheapest alcohol. But on the topic of accidentally getting people to join the military and ruining their lives, I was driving for a Lyft one time after I got out of the military because I was poor, and I picked up this kid. The university we're next to has like a giant ROTC program. It's like one of the biggest in the nations. in the nations. It's one
How
of the
many
biggest in the
nations?
nation. Eat shit. It's like one of the biggest in the nation. And so like I picked up this kid and his girlfriend and from one of the bars, and I was driving them home, and he saw that I had like one of the like memorial bands. And he was like, and he was like, "Oh, you were in the military. I can tell by your band," which is a terrible way to tell someone you know they were in the military. Because you're saying, "Hey,
I remember that guy
I
that
see you have dead friends."
Yeah.
Remember your friend that died?
Hey.
What was the military like?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna have this conversation." He's like, "So what'd you do?" I was like, "I was in the infantry." And he was like, "Oh, did you go to Afghanistan?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, I'm trying. I'm in the ROTC program. I'm gonna become an infantry officer." What do you think of women in the infantry? And at this point,
he just dropped that?
yeah. And at this point in time, I don't know who's paying for the ride, him or his girlfriend.
Oh, his girlfriend's in the car.
And so I'm trying to like answer this in like an honest but like fucking like civil manner.
You want tips?
And then like we dropped her off, and he was like, "By the way, I'm the one paying. You can say whatever." I was like, "Oh yeah, women should not be in the infantry." And then he was like, and then he was like, "All right, well, like, do you have any advice for me going in?" I was like, "Yeah, because you're going straight from college and you've never done shit with your life, and you're just going to be put in charge of a bunch of people who have been doing their job for a while. Everyone's going to fucking hate you." And he was like,
and rightfully so, by the way.
Yeah. Just shut up and move to the side,
yeah,
man.
I was like, "They're going to be right. Listen to the people under you." And he was like, "Is there anything I can do to like get more experience?" I was like, "Unless you want to enlist first and be a Mustang." And he was like, "What's that?" I explained for viewers watching.
Oh, you made him enlist for? You made him enlist?
I didn't make him do shit.
Oh,
for viewers who don't know, a Mustang is someone who was enlisted and then becomes an officer. And so he asked me about that, and I was like, "Yeah, like a lot of Mustangs are respected because, you know, they've done this shit.
It's real experience.
The enlisted guys are doing. They know what it's like." And he was like, "Oh, okay. Thanks for talking to me about this." And I dropped him off. And 3 months later, I was working out at the gym, and this guy comes up. He's like, "Hey, man, I thought about what you said, and so I dropped out of college, and I'm going off to boot camp next week." And I was like, "Bro,
You ruined this kid's life,
what the
dude.
fuck? Don't tell me that."
You ruined this kid's life.
So yeah, that kid's definitely not going to be an officer.
No, he's not going to be an officer, dude.
You know, I felt guilty telling my story. That's infinitely worse.
Yeah.
no,
That's real fucked up.
Because now not only are his parents more disappointed, but he's poor now. Like he could have had money and respect, but he's poor and dirt. Like that's just what he is now. You did that to him.
You know what? I still sleep at night pretty soundly.
Well,
I'm probably going to hell.
I can't say I blame you.
well, welcome to the family,
nothing you
kid
said-
who was in his fucking lift.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing you said was incorrect.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You're
Hey, look,
right.
he's one of us now.
It's better
Yeah.
than lying and being like, "Oh, dude, you're going to be so fucking cool. Everyone's going to want to hear your opinion on everything."
Yeah.
You know, at the very least, he'll show up to fucking boot camp and they'll make him the scribe. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Fucking. Oh, you went to college? All right.
You know, it's funny because like we've like mentioned the military in passing, but we haven't actually discussed the military that much. And Baylie and Ronnie didn't want to be on because they're like, "Oh, they're just going to talk about the military the whole time." And so they like in protest went and joined ISIS.
Yeah. So they're cutting off heads right now while we're.
Well, Ronnie's getting his head cut off.
Well, they're probably doing way cooler shit than we ever did in the military.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Bailey's wearing a burqa.
You're not lying.
That's pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah.
good. I mean, women should be modest.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
That's good for her.
She's got good eyes. It just, you know, just show that.
Yeah, she'll find a husband very easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Where the fuck do we go from there?
Yeah, we're about at the end. So is there
Oh
any
yeah,
other-
no, we're
Oh,
Already?
yeah.
We're at time.
We're at about an hour and 8 minutes.
there's plenty of stuff for Trent to edit.
Yeah. Before we go, do you guys want to touch on how much teachers fucking suck?
Oh, I forgot I was gonna segue that.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I was gonna, I was listening to the episode. I say the episode because it's the only one I heard where he went off on a thing about teachers.
I think it's the only one.
Okay, well, good. So I'm not a casual fan. You know what I mean? But no, I was gonna say so this is something I'm usually very vocal on Facebook, mostly because I like to get a rise out of people, not because I actually think people care about my opinion.
Yeah.
But
it's so much fun getting a rise out of people.
Yeah.
I know it's the best. It's the fucking best. But there's one thing, the only thing, I've never said anything about teachers, and it's only because I have one history teacher that I had in high school, the high school I went to in Brooklyn, that I fucking love this guy. And he's my friend on Facebook. And I don't want to have like a beef with me and him because I love this guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to make a status that makes it very clear that like, yeah, like teachers are fucking awful, except for like you're cool, dude.
No, at him, as straight up at him, tag him in it, and just be,
accept. Be like, this is the only exception.
Yeah, say your whole thing, and then at the very end, say, accept this guy.
Dude, the whole idea of this is like psychotic. You take a fucking young boy who's like in his early teens, maybe even elementary school age, 9, 10 years old, and you're like, that's when they're the most rambunctious and they want to go out to recess and like wrestle with each other and shit. And you take them, and you're like, you're gonna sit still for 8 fucking hours while I talk to you about the most boring fucking shit in the world. That's not gonna help you in your life, by the way.
Yeah,
you're not even gonna think about it after you leave this classroom.
Yeah. And you were saying about like the power trips. Like, they're like, oh, we're gonna separate your seats. You guys are friends and you guys get along really well and you talk. Oh, we're gonna move you guys to different parts. Like, what the fuck? We're children. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Dude. I remember when I was 8 years old, I like the teacher kept getting mad at me because I like wasn't paying attention. When she asked me why, I was like, I can't see the board. And so she moved me closer to the front and I was like, I still can't see. And so then she told my parents I was faking and moved me not just to the back of the class, but to the back of the class segregated from everyone else.
Oh my God.
And then I did nothing for the rest of the year. And she kept on being like, why won't you do anything? I'm like, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
And
what a bitch.
And then I went to the next grade and like I got a new teacher and like the first day happened and she was like, I was like, hey, I can't see the board. And she moved me up to the most like up front seat. And she's like, can you see it now? And I said, no. And she called my parents. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to get yelled at. And she was like, hey, have you ever gotten his eyes checked? And they're like, no, we never thought of it. And they took me to get my eyes checked. Turns out I'm blind as fuck. That teacher was just a psychotic cunt.
Yeah, what a bitch.
Dude, I got a decent one for you before we end things. There was my first math class I took in high school, period, right? The teacher's name was Mr. Gu, and this guy must have been fresh off the boat from China because, like, to say the guy spoke English would be generous, you know? And I'm sitting in this class, and by the way, I'm the only non-East Asian in the class. So, I shouldn't, at 14 years old, I wasn't thinking about this type of shit. I was just like, oh, I'm going to learn math from this guy, whatever.
Yeah.
But as time went on, I realized, like, oh, I might be at a little bit of a fucking disadvantage in this classroom, you know? And I couldn't understand a fucking word this guy was saying. And I know that's, you know, in the year 2022, that might be like a little insensitive, but it's just the God's honest truth. I didn't know what the fuck this guy was saying.
Yeah,
from start to finish of the whole semester. And I remember I got my report card and I fucking failed the math class. And my mother got, you know, she got it in the mail, whatever. I get home, my mother's all pissed off. She's like, what the fuck's the matter with you? Why won't you pay attention to school? You're a fucking idiot. You're going to be just like your father, you scumbag. All this shit, right?
That was a perfect impersonation of Italian mother, by the way.
Yeah, nice.
That was spot on.
Well, yeah, I grew up with one. Now, of course.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But I'm telling her, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this guy's saying. You know, and she's like, yeah, bullshit. You're so full of fucking excuses. Da, 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 da. I'm like, Ma, I have no clue what the guy's saying. So there's an open school night where the parents can come up and meet the teachers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, most kids would never do this. I was like, Ma, I want you to come to open school night and meet my teachers. She's like, all right, I'll come, you know. And she always came anyways, but I was like I was stressing this one. I go, Ma, you got to come meet. She comes. I don't know if you're going to have to edit this one out for YouTube's sake, but my mother comes up. My mother comes up to the school and she meets all my teachers or whatever. And then she meets Mr. Gu. And she sits there through the whole thing. She's very nice. She's got her hands folded. She's got her legs crossed very daintily, you know, like a lady. And she's listening to him and she's nodding. She's being polite. And then we walk out of the room. My mother goes, Jesus Christ. I don't know whether the guy was talking about math or whether I should order the combo number 4.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
And then that's how I get my mother to understand that, like, Mom, I'm not lying to you. I don't know what the fuck this guy's saying to me.
God damn.
It sucks when you're a kid and you have those teachers that you can't understand and you're like, fuck. I'm trying, and they're like, yeah, your kid's just not paying attention. You're like, guys, I swear, please don't beat me. I'm doing my best. This guy can't fucking speak. English is his first language, and I still can't understand him.
Yeah, school is so traumatic for me. It's just a black blur. Like I literally have no memories of anything past.
I remember
18.
I got in trouble in ways that I thought were funny. Like I got kicked out of class in my math class one time because I kept on playing with like a bouncy ball. And then I walked in the next day and like we had to like answer like the like warm up question on the board. And he asked like the first kid, and the kid answered wrong. I went, "'Cause you're fucking stupid." And he's like, "Steve, get out." And then like I walked in the third day, and he was like, "Hey, Steven, are you gonna get kicked out of class today?" And I went, "Yeah, probably." And he went, "All right, go sit in the hall." And just immediately kicked me out before the class started.
Hey, that's efficient. That's efficient.
Yeah, that guy was on his fucking game.
That's a good teacher right there. That's a good teacher.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Everyone except that guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's about it. So thank you for coming on, Fitzy. It's been great.
Yeah. My pleasure, man.
And thank you for everyone that watched.
Group hug.
This program was made possible by viewers like you. To help continue supporting this very serious program, please like, share, and subscribe.